Hey all, welcome back to another episode of Car Topics Explained on the Racing Joker channel. Today we're going to be returning to doing GT-R content. And today we will be covering one of the most famous R34 GT-Rs of all time, Brian's Skyline, also known as the Too Fast Too Furious Skyline. Today we will be talking about the real-life story of the hero Skyline from the second movie. By the way, whenever I say things like hero Skyline or hero car when I'm talking about different vehicles, that means I'm talking about the primary car the filmmakers had for close-ups of the exterior, interior shots, shots where the actors are in the car, engine bay shots, and more. The hero car is usually the most heavily modified, kept in the most pristine condition, and is rented from a private owner. And the first noteworthy owner and builder of the car was Craig Lieberman, and he is who we have to thank for the information I'm about to share with you. The Too Fast Too Furious car was born in 1999 as a V-Spec GT-R painted in GV1 Black Pearl Metallic. On July 24th of 2001, Craig Lieberman bought the car from MotorX for $78,000. When he received the car, it had already gotten the C-West body kit installed, along with some aftermarket work wheels. MotorX offered various packages that involved pre-equipped body kits and performance parts so that customers could drive off the lot already with a touch of aftermarket personalization. One such example is that anyone who wanted to import an R34 GT-R had the option of having a C-West body kit pre-equipped to the car before they even drove it off the lot. Not long after Craig had acquired the car, he took it to SEMA that same year. There it was fitted with two different types of HRE wheels, with a set of two on the left and a different set of two on the right. When some Nissan officials or representatives saw the car on display, they were surprised to see it in the US, because you've got to remember, the car was basically brand new. The R34 GT-R started production in 1999, and MotorX was already bringing them in by 2001. When Craig started to modify the car, the first things he did were mainly cosmetic. He sanded down and repainted the car in a candy blue, inspired by the blue on the Lamborghini Diablo SV Monterey Edition. The red livery was inspired by the design on the Signal Auto R34 GT-R. Similar vinyl designs can be found on the Too Fast Too Furious Evo and in some of the Need for Speed games. He also did several performance-enhancing modifications, such as an HKS titanium exhaust system. He upgraded the manifold and turbos to HKS 2540s, just to name a few things. But the end result in horsepower was between 420 to 450. In spring of 2002, Craig got a call that a second Fast and the Furious movie was being made. And we should all thank Craig, because if it weren't for him, Brian would have been driving a Dodge Neon instead of the Skyline. Because essentially, Dodge offered some sort of deal to have the Neon play a role in the movie, and Craig advised everyone that would be a silly idea and that Brian's character deserved a better car. And so the Skyline became Brian's car, and the rest is... well, I was going to say history, but legendary is more accurate. And as a result of the car being casted, Universal got to make some changes to it. Stop Tech supplied some of their big brakes for the car to be showcased in the film. On the front, they were 15-inch 6 calipers, and on the rear, they were 14-inch 4 calipers. All of the door panel inserts were changed from red to blue. The custom carbon fiber nitrous bottles were wrapped in chrome to cover up the Nitrous Express logos, which I don't get because it's one of the most recognizable logos. The most recognizable probably being the Nitrous Systems logo.
I need NOS.
But yeah, I don't get that, especially since the Nitrous Express logos were visible on the exterior of the car anyways. So it couldn't have been a copyright issue. And carbon fiber is a tuner's favorite material, and custom carbon fiber nitrous bottles are worth showing off in my opinion. As I kind of alluded to before, other GT-Rs were used in the filming of Too Fast Too Furious. The hero car was Craig's car, His car is one of the 14 or so federally legal R34 GT-Rs imported by MotorX and can be driven legally on US roads. For the movie, 4 other cars were imported by MotorX, and boy have I got a story for you about these cars. These cars were never made federally legal and were never brought into compliance with US road regulations, which makes sense because they were only being used for the movie. But despite that, apparently it was very difficult working with MotorX, and it took a while for them to even bring the cars into the country. They arrived about 3 or 4 days before the cars were needed. So you can probably imagine how frustrated and worried everyone was because the cars had already been paid for. The cars were finally brought in via air freight on a Boeing 747. That's about $300,000 of missing GT-Rs. For the 6th and final car, they brought it in from a more reliable source in the UK. The car was originally lightning yellow and was used as the jump stunt car. And before you ask, no, I do not believe the car was a UK spec GT-R, because there were only ever 3 UK spec GT-Rs made in lightning yellow, and none of the UK car VINs match the VIN of the jump stunt car on record. After filming was over and the car was shipped from Florida back to Craig, he immediately had it sanded down and repainted back to his candy blue. He did, however, keep everything Universal added to it, such as some sound system parts and the HKS gauges. But he did change the wheels to 19-inch Advan Model 5s. This is Craig's favorite version of his car. He went on to take it to a few more shows until one day he got a call from a company called Motor Mavericks in Tennessee. And they wanted to make an offer, and he replied, it wasn't for sale. The lady on the phone said, no disrespect, but anything is for sale for the right price. So he gave them a price he thought was outrageous and way too much. And she said, if you give me your bank details, we can wire the money right to you. And that was the first time the GT-R was sold after it had appeared on the big screen. The people at Motor Mavericks removed the stereo stuff, painted the car black, and removed all of the HKS gauges. The car was then sold again around 2012. It then changed hands again at some undetermined time and fell into the hands of the current owner, who currently has it somewhere in the East Coast. This is current information as of me making this video. In case you're wondering what the current state of the car is, the body kit and wing are gone. It may have been repainted to the factory black pearl metallic, and the owner wants to restore it to either Craig specifications or the movie specification, which is, I think, really cool. Imagine the original GT-R chassis, the real hero car, but that's not fact, that's just dreaming. So that's all I've got on Brian's Skyline, aka Craig's Skyline, and one of the few federally legal MotorX GT-Rs in existence. I hope you all enjoyed this video and found it both entertaining and informative. I've been looking forward to doing this one for a while. This is the 3rd video I've done about this car. I've done a video overviewing the parts used to build the car in real life, and I also did another video about how to make your GT-R in real life sound the same as Brian's car did in the movie. And here's a hint, they didn't use the sound of Craig's car, they used different GT-Rs in post-production. But anyways, if you liked this video and want to see others like it, then check out my series, Car Topics Explained. I cover things like movie cars, race cars, rare versions of cars. I talk about ways you can import cars into the US, and I talk about the future of the automotive industry. Beyond that, I do vlogs, car reviews, I have a series documenting my adventures modifying my own cars, and I do gaming content. So if any of that tickles your fancy, then have a peruse through my channel, and if you're extra cool, then maybe even subscribe and join the TRJ crew. But that's enough shameless self-promotion from me. Thank you all so much for watching, and I, Tom, the Racing Joker, will be signing out. I'll see you all next time. Keep it crazy, everybody.